My name is Reina, and I'm 25 years old. I live in a quiet little town tucked away between hills and rivers, a place where everything feels still, where life rarely changes, and people always know each other's names. I worked in a small boutique on Main Street, where sunlight poured through the glass windows, painting soft streaks across clothes I'd folded 100 times. For 5 years, I had a best friend named Zara. She wasn't just someone I laughed with over coffee or whispered secrets to at sleepovers. She was my sister in all but blood. We had shared dreams, heartbreaks, plans for the future. Whenever something good happened to me, she was the first to know. When things went wrong, she held my hand like a lighthouse in a storm. We were inseparable until everything changed. It began one crisp autumn afternoon, the kind where the sky is golden and the air smells like burning leaves. That was the day I met Kian. He walked into the boutique just before closing time, looking a little lost, asking for help picking out a gift for his sister's birthday. He was tall, with a shy smile and an awkward charm. We talked, just small things at first, but the way he looked at me lingered long after he left. A few days later, he returned, claiming his sister loved the gift and wanted help choosing something else. I laughed, knowing it was just an excuse to see me again. And I didn't mind. Our conversations turned into texts into late-night calls. Soon we were meeting for coffee, and before long, we were a couple. I was over the moon. When I told Zara, she smiled and said, "I'm happy for you." Her voice was soft, her eyes unreadable, but I didn't think much of it. She met Kian a few times after that, double dates, group movie nights. Everything seemed normal, except for one thing, the way she looked at him when she thought I wasn't watching. Too long. Too intense. Still, I ignored it. Zara was my best friend. She knew everything about me, my fears, my dreams, my broken past. I believed that meant she would protect me, never hurt me, that she'd be the one person who'd always be in my corner. But I was wrong. Weeks passed. Kian began to change. He didn't call as often. His replies were short, sometimes hours late. He told me he was tired, that work was overwhelming, but I saw him online, posting memes and commenting on others' photos while ignoring my messages. Something felt wrong. My heart knew it before my mind could accept it. One evening, while he was in the shower, I saw a notification light up on his phone. A message from Zara. "I miss you. Can we meet tonight?" My hands trembled. The room blurred. I felt like I'd been hit by something heavy, something that knocked the air from my lungs. When I asked him about it, he looked pale. "It's nothing," he said. But it was something. I confronted Zara. I asked her why she was messaging my boyfriend. She laughed too lightly and said, "We're just friends, Reina. Don't be so dramatic." But I knew her too well. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. A few days later, I got the truth I wasn't ready to hear. "I like him too," she confessed. "He likes me now." "I'm sorry." That was all she said. I felt like the ground beneath me shattered. In one moment, I lost the two people I trusted most in the world. My best friend. My boyfriend. My heart. I cried until there were no tears left. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I deleted every photo, every message, every trace of them. But the pain? It lingered. It dug itself deep inside me and refused to let go. I walked through the days like a ghost. I kept asking myself, why? Why did this happen? What did I do wrong? All I ever did was love them. Then something unexpected happened. A letter arrived. It was from Zara. "Dear Reina," it began, "I know I have no right to ask for your time, but I want to explain. I want to tell you the truth you never knew." The pages trembled in my hands as I read. She wrote about her past, about feeling invisible growing up, about always being compared to others. How she envied me, not for what I had, but for how people loved me. "Even Kian," she wrote, "looked at you like you hung the stars. I hated how easy it looked for you." She confessed that she didn't mean to fall for him, that it started with jealousy, but soon turned into something real. She didn't write to ask for forgiveness, only to say she finally understood what she destroyed. I thought taking Kian from you would make me feel powerful. Instead, I feel empty. I read the letter twice, then burned it. Because some truths don't deserve a place on your shelf. Zara and Kian vanished from my life after that. I never saw them in town again. People whispered they moved away, maybe together, maybe not. I didn't care anymore. I stopped looking for closure and apologies. Instead, I began rebuilding myself. I went back to the things that once made me feel alive, reading poetry under the old oak tree, walking by the river, learning to bake the way my grandmother taught me. Slowly, new people came into my life. A girl named Isla, who worked at the flower shop next door, started joining me for lunch. She had a laugh like wind chimes and eyes that saw right through the masks people wore. Then there was Milo, the quiet guy who worked nights at the bookstore. He never said much, but when he did, his words mattered. He once told me, "People break you, so you can learn how to put yourself back together the way you were always meant to be." And I believed him. Months passed. I smiled more. I started journaling again, writing things I was too afraid to say out loud. I forgave them, not for them, but for me, because hate was too heavy to carry. I thought that was the end of the story, but life had one more chapter. It was a rainy Tuesday when I saw Mira again, an old friend from university. We hadn't spoken in years, but the moment we saw each other, it felt like no time had passed. Over coffee, she told me her story, about how she'd been betrayed by her best friend and boyfriend too. Different names. Same heartbreak. I listened as she cried. And then, something strange happened. We didn't feel broken anymore. We felt understood. That's the thing about pain. When you share it with someone who truly gets it, it becomes lighter. Over time, Mira and I grew close. We healed side by side, like flowers in the same sunlight. We built each other up, reminded one another of our worth. And then one day, someone new walked into my life. His name was Elias. He wasn't loud or flashy. He didn't send flowers or make grand gestures. He listened. He asked questions no one had ever asked. He noticed the things I tried to hide. I was scared at first. Scared to trust again. Scared to love. But Elias never rushed me. He stayed. One night, as we sat under a sky full of stars, he held my hand and whispered, "You don't have to be afraid of love. Not all love breaks you." That night, I let go of the past. Not because I forgot, but because I no longer needed it to define me. Today, my name is Reina. I am 26 years old. I know what betrayal feels like. I know how it breaks you in ways you can't always describe. But I also know how strong you become when you choose to heal. Zara and Kian are just chapters in a book I've already finished. I don't reread them anymore. Because now I'm writing new pages, with friends who are true, with love that is kind, and with a heart that knows its worth. And if you've ever been betrayed, if you're sitting in the dark wondering why it happened, know this. It wasn't your fault. You're not broken beyond repair. You'll smile again. You will find someone who sees you, values you, and never makes you question your place in their world. And when you do, you'll understand that the pain didn't destroy you. It shaped you.